Hello everyone. Let's talk about the engraving of the side scripts. About the side scripts, we're mainly talking about the characters in regular scripts, official scripts, running scripts, and the seal scripts, which are also the most commonly used. In these most commonly used cases, let's first go to the regular script, because the regular script is the easiest case to engrave in these few character scripts. We can engrave the seal in regular scripts in two steps. The first step involves some basic strokes of the regular script, and then I will show you some specific characters. Let's first show some basic standards for strokes or characters need to comply with. And the basic strokes are like the 8 principles. The engraving is basically the same as the method of calligraphy when it comes to the requirements or standards. The only thing except that is some of the ways we use knife are just the opposite to the way we use brush for writing characters. So let's first engrave it and grave it from the basic strokes. Let's first look at how the strokes of dots is engraved. And this is one way of engraving, that I push the knife upside down. There is another one that is pushed down from upside, and the third one is the way to push the knife to the upper right corner. We can try this by making a part of a character like this one, and then we can make a horizontal line which is easier to engrave. And in doing this, we may have a feeling of using a brush with blunt tip, and there is another way we can reverse it, and then we can go with the vertical line. And the vertical line can be done like this, or it can be reversed. And our basic strokes can be engraved from the right way to the opposite direction. And the yue character, which means the moon, a part derived from the vertical line, can be done in this way. And then we have to engrave some more left-down strokes, and there are two kinds. The first kind is actually similar to that of yue part, that we can just move with the knife forward. We can also use it upside down, but there is a slight curve in the back that in my eyes it seems better and more beautiful in structure. And it is very sharp when carved in the right order, and elegant when engraved reversed. And the same is true of the left-down strokes that we can engrave in this way. Take a look. But we can also engrave like this, adding a little new sort of minor with the stroke. And let's make some hook strokes next. We can make it like this. Generally, we will find that the character Ge would use more hook strokes, and it is divided into two sorts. The first one is to go to first, and then you can come over here. And at this side, you have to make an extra cut, and remember to make such a cut. And only by doing this can you make it pretty look like a forehead. And there is another sort, which is one of my usual practice, in which I will just hook it up like this and make an extra cut to make it perfect. Okay, so now let's make a stronger script for a try. This can be done with one cut, or perhaps you can also make by two cuts and three cuts. Let's try another stone to make it a hook, and we can start with an horizontal fold, which is not a hard job. The first one is like this, and then we make it vertically, and then we can add the hook. That's down. There is another, we can reverse the order, which is just okay, and the two ways present the characters in different styles. And let's make another one with stroke on the left side of the character like Tiao, and the characters can be made like this. And it can be carved and upside down like this, and then in a reverse way. Both of the ways are accepted. And there's no specific requirement for this. Just choose the way you like. Okay, that's all for the lecture this part, the basic strokes of the regular script. Thanks. Alright, next, I will show you how to engrave a seal with some more characters. Let's get started now. Some seal engravers move their knives instead of moving stone. That's a special habit they have. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just a personal habit, I said. And I prefer to push my little knife forward with more force and more force used in the forward direction. There are also engraving artists who prefer to use a big knife to press down vertically for making the characters. This can be done without a fixed requirement. Next, I will show you the method of seal engraving an official script, and then we will try some characters in this script. Let's take a look. There are more obvious twists and turns in strokes, which is forceful and dynamic. There we have a fierce contrast, which is one of the more obvious features of the official script. While engraving the basic strokes in official script, we placed mostly the focus on the above features to make further explanation, that is, the silkworm's head and the swallow's tail. Okay, so I will show you now how to write an official script. The official script is comprised mostly of horizontal and vertical lines, and there is quite a few dot and left and right down strokes. Let's talk about dot, and it is about the same as regular script in the engraving skill. And we should cut on the side of the character in a regular script, while the cut will be pressed vertically in the official script. It is the kind of slight deviation or the way to the other side that's the simple way, and there are not so much change for a stroke like dot, and therefore there is no particular requirement. Horizontal line is also a simple stroke that's easy for beginners. To make it, we just need a push with the wife. Of course, you can push it in a reverse direction because this makes no difference. And it is not the most exciting part of the official script. Also, the same here for the vertical line engraving like in regular scripts. And you can push forward with the knife or just make it like what you did for a horizontal line. There are various strokes in this official script. And compare with the horizontal and vertical strokes, the left downward and the right downward strokes seems more dynamic. When we write a left down stroke, there is a form that's quite simple. Just to cut it, slant it out, and this is the way. And there is another way to write it in 2 strokes, so that it feels a little more dynamic and lifelike. And for instance, when we try to engrave the character Yue or the moon, we can do it like this. Another example is when we are engraving the character He, it will go forward like this. And the basic strokes are like this, and now we get down to the most important part in the official script. And it is the twist stroke downward with our knife that we might feel more dynamic with a force. We will show you the first before I make some instructions. And let's split it with 2 strokes first. The first one is like this, and the second one should be done like this. So we can make such an effect, and I can show you how it looks like, and you will get a hang of it. Like the character Gong, for instance, that we can simply cut it on the top.